let's go down the character list and get a little introduction from everybody. Ollie, who are you? What is your online handle, and how did you get into online ghostery things? What was it? The r/haunting subreddit we said? Something like that.
Yeah.
So my name is Todd Jones. My screen name is Gersperms69, and I came across this other lovely group of people on the on the paranormal subreddit. It was very enlightening. I had long suspected paranormal. I had long suspected that there were otherworldly, otherworldly entities, things. But I'm fully convinced they can be explained by science. And having met a like-minded group of people, I fully am going to set out to prove that these are a fully valid scientific phenomena that can be studied and such.
Exactly, and so you have left your current home at the University of Falmouth in southern Cornwall to make a little trip out to meet up with your online friends on the island of Scintilla, just off the western Cornish coast, reputedly the most haunted island in the British Isles. There you will be meeting your friend, who actually lives on the island. Which brings us on to Sophie. Who is your character? Do you want to give us a little rundown? How did you get into the paranormal, or r/paranormal? And what is your online handle?
My name is Elizabeth Fortune. My player handle is 9liveskitty. And unfortunately I lost my cat a few years ago. Sweet Mittens. And I desperately want to find her ghost and bring her back to me, or keep her safe with me, or something. I don't know. I just really like cats. I own a cat sanctuary on the island. You'd think it's rather niche to have a cat sanctuary on a tiny island, but I assure you I do surprisingly well. I don't really go for much of this nerd stuff, or the computers or whatever, but, if there's information, I'm good at acquiring information, and funnily enough, I found some of these strange folk to be rather helpful, so I'm inviting them over to say hello.
Very kind of you. And another one of your friends coming, John. Do you want to give us a little intro to your character? What's your name? What's your online handle? How did you get into r/paranormal?
My name is Eugene Francis. My handle is Wake Up Sheeple. My parents died of very similar cancers when I was at university. I received a very enlightening email one day from somebody who clearly is very intelligent and has broken through the lies of the government and has led me into the world that they have tried to cover up. So I have spent the last 5 years of my life uncovering all the government conspiracies and trying to figure out everything that they are not telling us. It has led on to subjects of the paranormal and the ways that they are using the ghosts to spy on us and feedback information on everything that we do. I hope that your cat sanctuary and your island is very well ramped and disabled access, because I need my mobility scooter to get around.
And that's that one. Next up,
You're welcome.
Nikki. Who are you? What's your character's name? Your online handle, and how did you get into ghost hunting, or ghost r/paranormal rather?
Do I have to? Ugh, fine. My name's Sky Harper. I never grew out of the early 2000s, so my handle is Ectoplasm Girl. Deal with it. And I've seen ghosts pretty much since I can remember, and they are annoying as shit. Let me tell you, those ghost psychics you see on TV, they're all fluttery and happy. Oh, your uncle says hi, he's here, he loves you so much. Bull fucking shit. That's all I can say about that. I just want to know how to make it stop. That's my only recourse here.
This is extremely fair. And last but certainly not least, Katya. Who are you? What's your character's name? Your online handle? And what got you into r/paranormal?
I go by Agatha Gray, and my online handle is The Haunted One, with a 1. I got into the paranormal since I was originally trying to make a career for myself as an online personality focusing on travel destinations and similar things, but it's a tough business to break into. Up until one point where I uploaded a video where circumstantially there were a couple of weird things going on in the background. A lot of the people in chat said, well, speculated this might be ghost related, and next thing you know, video goes viral, and this is by far the most successful thing I've ever done, so I just decided to lean straight into it.
Okay. Loving the interest from everyone.
I saw that video. It was very good. I did, yes. I'm surprised that the government didn't try and get you to take it down.
Who says they didn't?
Yes, Sky.
Always trying to control everything we see.
So as we can hear, it sounds like Sky and Eugene have run into each other on the ferry over from Falmouth.
What's Agatha?
Wait. Yes, sorry, Agatha. God damn it. I don't have the character names down pat yet. Eugene and Agatha. Let's do a speedy emotional check. Agatha, how are you feeling? It doesn't take too much conversation with Eugene to realize that he's extremely keen and extremely serious about his government conspiracies. How are you feeling?
You know, I've run into all sorts of characters on both online and in person. It's a bit weird, but that's what you get for meeting up with people you've only met online.
Bro.
And on the inverse as well, Eugene, how are you feeling? Agatha, this slightly vapid, but apparently quite earnest and willing to talk to you, human.
Pleased that someone is finally listening to me and finally agrees with me. Looking forward to finding out what else they know about the government conspiracies. More details on what the government did and said to try and take down the video. And what she's doing about fighting against the government control and censorship.
You know, that's not my fight.
It's everyone's fighting.
I'm just looking for the truth. Hoping to catch it on camera.
I see we are very similar-minded. Look forward to working with you. I'm very excited.
Really bothers me that Ollie's username's dumb font carries over into Unicode.
Why do you think I chose it?
God damn it. I'll fucking retype it now.
Because you're a terrible person.
Don't you dare. You don't do that to my name.
Only in my notes. Sat nearby, on a ferry seat, awkwardly playing on his phone, Todd Jones. You've also known as Gersberm69. You've heard a bit of this conversation, and it doesn't take too long for you to work out that these are actually this odd couple, one of them leaning over the rail, watching the sea spray, the other one sort of pushed up against the rail, atop their mobility scooter. God damn it, John.
Hey, you let me have it, man. That's on you.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long to figure out that these are two of the people you've met online. You recognise the distinct tones of double check. Wake Up Sheeple. And God damn it, you recognise the distinct tones of Wake Up Sheeple and The Haunted One.
I put my phone in my pocket, close the laptop, and put it in my giant bag of technology, one of those humongous festival rucksack style things, just brimming with shit. keeping a close eye on it. Actually, no, I hunker onto my back and I come over, sort of timidly approach, and I go to poke. I just show. I just say, "Hello, are any of you here for the meetup?"
Who are you?
I'm Gersberm's 69.
A nearby passenger breaks out in a fit of giggles and awkwardly excuses themselves for a speedy trip to the toilet. You hear their guffaws even through the walls.
Hi, I'm the Haunted One, or Agatha, if you prefer.
Nice to meet you both.
Brought your own gear and everything.
I may have even had some shipped ahead.
Fascinating.
You've come prepared then.
I stick out my hand, and whoever wants to shake it first.
The previous day at the Fortune residence, the bell goes off, and a colossal delivery is waiting outside for you, Elizabeth.
I hand put my hand out. If no one shakes it, then I will awkwardly put the hand away after.
I will shake your hand and then immediately sanitize my own afterwards.
Don't do that in front of people. That's rude.
To be fair, I think we said it's set in present day, so Corona. I get the feeling like he was probably doing it before Corona.
Oh, he was doing it before Corona.
But
he's one of those horrendous anti-vaxxers that doesn't believe in Corona.
But it's looped back round now, so that's proven him. Okay, not about anti-vax stuff. Not going anywhere near that. But the hand sanitizing thing, yeah, it was rude when you first started doing it, but now you notice that people laud you for sanitizing your hands in public, and clearly this is evidence of your inevitable correctness.
Yes, the sheeple are waking up at last.
Per the username.
Even if for the wrong reasons.
Should have stipulated.
I don't ask what the right reasons are. I feel that's a whole rabbit hole. That's a fucking warren.
I'm sure it probably is. I have not come up with it yet.
Feel like whatever it is, it's a phrase that probably starts on 9/11.
This is the UK. We go back further than 9/11. Thank you very much.
I thought you were American for some reason.
Nope.
Oh, fair.
Henry VIII never had his wives beheaded.
They're still alive!
A secret horde of ex-wives, immortal, governing the country.
No, they died of natural causes. It's just a feminist plot to make Henry VIII out as a bad guy. To try and bring down kings.
I might call...
We have 100 made-up kings. Just saying.
I might call maybe a slight tone on the conspiracy theories, because they're fun, but it's going to get real awkward real quick.
That's fair.
What? But awkward British people are the best British people.
Yeah, but I don't really want to have to play around too much with one character being the worst, the literal worst that conspiracy theorists can throw out there, because that's a very, very deep well. Bad conspiracy theorist is fine, but if we're going to have to get into, damn, these feminazis, that's going to get real... Oh god, no, please.
No worries.
Thank you.
If I spout anything that's going too far, just say so, and I will immediately stop and apologise.
Appreciate it. And statutory reminder for everyone else that you're allowed to call on that as well.
Yeah, of course. And I will try and avoid things anyway.
Big love.
That one I won't avoid.
I thoroughly recommend the usage of big love for anyone and everyone.
No.
I think I once sent you in a big love birthday card. Someone.
Quite possibly. Meanwhile, at the front of the ship, Sky Harper. You've been here for most of the trip over from on the ferry from Falmouth, watching as the ship slowly sails away from Cornwall and then round the Cornish coast and Lizard Point, the very southernmost tip of England, and out just a little way into the Atlantic, before coming up on the vast southern inlet of Scintilla. Scantling Bay. To the west of the bay is Black Bog, that signature depressing British marshland. Comparatively few trees, and you can almost make out the stench from here. See the birds flying overhead. More than one strange ruin, perhaps old, perhaps new, and a little depressing hamlet that perhaps reminds you of the depressing places you presumably grew up in. To the east
Yeah,
of the
pretty
shop,
much.
to the east of you, is the spur, mostly heathland. It looks just as desolate, but in an entirely different way, more windswept. The jagged jut of Fort Bell, off to the east, a 17th century, 18th century, I believe, naval fort, still pointing out, protecting the bay.
The end of the bay.
No, it's sort of protecting the middle of the bay, so it's mostly got like a field of fire over, the entire sort of middle centre bit rather than the end.
Cool.
You can see it marked on the map.
Yeah, I know.
In front of you is distant Scantling. You've been stood here for quite a while as the ship pulls closer and closer and closer. You can see a pier coming up on you. And at the end of that pier, watching with presumably nervous apprehension, stands someone who you do not recognize as Elizabeth Fortune, also known as 9 Lives Kitty.
I feel like every time Ewan says that, you have to meow, Sophie.
You know, like, yeah.
You know, that meow is just as depressing as the scenery Ewan describes.
9 Lives Kitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna do serious GM voice, you shits. Don't you meow at me.
Oh, I thought you were doing depressed voice.
Yeah, the two are much the same in many ways.
Fair.
Elizabeth Fortune. You can see the ferry bearing your internet friends,
Oh, Jesus.
slowly pulling into port. The thought runs through your brain, have you made a mistake? Are you going to get axe murdered by these strange people from Reddit?
Oh no, not Reddit people. Oh.
What are the chances we're all axe murderers?
It really just takes one.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well.
Just the one, actually.
How are you feeling, Elizabeth?
Oh, these terrible people are coming near me and my house. What have I done? I can't believe I'm doing this. This is so stupid.
At the very front of the ship, as it just begins to pull in, almost close enough, indeed close enough that you can make out someone. Sky Harbour, how much do you feel your sort of visual identity bleeds through your internet personality? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, how goth would you say you are?
I'd probably say about a 7.
Okay, so maybe not instantly recognizable as, oh, well, that's clearly fucking Ectoplasm Girl.
No. No, I'm still a little bit early 2000s in the way I talk online, but at the same time, most of my online stuff is bitching about being a medium. And you can't really tell that I'm a medium for the fact that I dress as goth as I do.
That's fair. So, in that case, we'll flip it around a little bit. You get your first sight of one of the local Scintillan natives. These strange, weird, rural island people. Sophie, what does Nikki see? What does Elizabeth Fortune look like as she stands there alone on the pier? There's no one else waiting.
You see, like, a very tall, nerdy-looking girl, very into witchcore aesthetic, so, like, browns and mushrooms and big baggy jumpers, and has a lot of cats walking around them for some reason. A lot of cats, like an unusual amount of cats.
How many cats do you have at the moment on this pier?
On the pier, there are 6 visible.
That's a lot of cats.
Not
Are they
visible are
leashed?
many more.
Or do they just love you?
Yeah, because I look after all of them. I probably have, like, kibble in my pocket or something.
What's your animal, Ken? I just want to see something here. Oh, you
They
got
love
3.
me.
Pissed
But
off
also,
cat.
apparently, yeah, like cat meth in your pocket or something. Sky Harper, ectoplasm girl. What's your opinion of this witchcore native you've seen and her surprisingly intense amount of cats?
Not gonna lie, I'm impressed with the dedication. She's going the stereotype of a witch, and she's fully committed to it, and I appreciate that.
She's exactly one wide-brimmed hat away from a pretty solid Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the white-brimmed hat's at home, don't worry.
The ferry pulls in. Awkward conversation at the rear of the boat finishes. And, the gangway is slowly pulled down. One by one, the crew usher you off the boat. The first arrivals in the slowly starting tourist season as this ghostly island gears up for Halloween. You had an arranged meeting spot at the edge of the pier, and it's not too difficult for the 5 of you to find each other. 3 of you have already been introduced. Otherwise, you are 5 internet strangers stood at the end of an actually pretty sheltered pier. But nevertheless, it feels windier than it should do. You can see why the island has its reputation, at least those of you who aren't from here. The single one of you who is themselves from Scintilla, you're just kind of used to this, and you know that it's a mug's game to be trapped out on the pier at any time of day. It's always windy out here somehow.
Plus, we're a jumper, man.
Exactly. Okay, folks, what do? The 5 of you stare at each other awkwardly.
I move forward and stick my hand out towards Elizabeth.
Oh, charmed, I'm sure. Forgive me, I'm not going to touch you just yet, because I don't really know you. I assume
It's not charmed. I don't know why you're sure about that.
It's an expression, dear.
I have hand sanitizer.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Rather not. I assume you're all from the internet, yes?
Yes.
That would be us. Well, me at least. I don't know about these weirdos.
Well, I'm Nine Lives Kitty. I suppose that's how I should introduce myself, right?
Yes, hi, I'm the Haunted.
Hello. No, forgive me. No touching. And the rest of you?
I am Wake Up Sheeple. Nice to meet you.
I did not realize you would be on a scooter.
Is that a problem?
I thought I was loved, so I thought you say I didn't think you were going to come.
I mean, I almost didn't.
I just didn't know. That's all. Yes. The rest of you?
Oh, I'm Gersperm69. But you can call me Todd.
Hello, Todd. Lovely.
I'm Ectoplasm Girl.
Hello, Ectoplasm Girl. How are you?
I'm a little bit fed up with this old bint that's whittering in my ear, but otherwise I'm alright. Thank you.
She's not that old. She's just saying hello.
Bint? What is a bint?
This old fogey of a woman.
Oh, right. Yes. Awfully sorry. A ghost. Right. Got it.
Yes.
There's
Okay.
one here now.
She's whittering on about her husband or something or other. I don't know. I'm not paying attention.
I turn around to Ectoplasmic Girl. Huh? You're saying you've got one talking to you right now?
I'm going to give you a very, very flat look. Say, have you not met my online profile? I'm a medium. Of course I talk to ghosts.
No, I knew that. I just, I wasn't expecting one right now. I
Are you saying they're already watching us?
Scoots off.
It's more like they're all around me. They seem to flock to me because I'm apparently a portal between the living and the dead somehow. And they find that out and they won't leave me alone.
I immediately take out a notebook and just start scribbling down. Actually, no, I take out my phone on my notes app and I'm just like, interesting. Very interesting.
Do you have any way to get rid of them?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out.
Okay. We're going to have to be very careful. Make sure they don't report back to anyone.
So I'm not going to say whether or not there actually are ghosts specifically whispering in Sky Harper's ear right this second. But Sky Harper definitely believes there are. So there may or may not be. And it is completely at Nikki's discretion whether or not she chooses to say that there are ghosts in her ear at any one time or not.
So how does that work? Can you see them or only hear them? Can you make them apparate?
I can't make them do anything. They're just there. It depends on the spirit, the soul, I don't know. Some of them are invisible, some of them are visible, some of them can't speak, some of them won't shut up. Most of them won't shut up, frankly.
Do they respond to you?
Elizabeth Fortune, you notice that this conversation, though very interesting, is being held out on a windswept pier that is bitterly cold, even through your presumably hand-knitted home jumper.
Is the finest. Shall we go somewhere a little warmer? I don't know what you like to do normally, but I'm rather frigid and would like to get inside.
There is a little cafe just up the pier.
There is a little cafe just up the pier.
I heard there's a little cafe just up the pier.
Yes, there's a little cafe just up the pier. They do very good scones.
Do they have a good internet connection?
I believe they have Wi-Fi. Maybe.
That will do.
Do they have ghosts?
Well, as Elizabeth points up the pier, you can see the giant neon green, clearly digitally distinct, not quite a Ghostbusters logo ghost outside the cafe, holding up a sign that reads, "The Ghouls, Ghasts and Ghosts Cafe. Pumpkin
I'm gonna make
spice
sure
lattes now on offer."
I'm gonna make sure to get a picture with this. Just
Oh yes, do. It's a rather popular tourist attraction. Let's go. It's rather cold. Yes.
Please make sure you don't get me in any pictures.
I hike up
edit you
my
out.
incredibly heavy bag and start just plodding towards the cafe.
Good. Miss Ectoplasm?
Hey, if there are scones, I'm down.
Yes, they're rather good. On we go. Chop chop.
I will wait until Haunted One has taken her picture, and then I will scoot off down towards the cafe.
Four of you trudge along, and one scoots along.
Someone
go.
not named a cozy cafe and scones. Like, how's that not a thing?
Cozy
Like,
cafe
what's that?
scones.
Yeah, how is someone not named, a cafe and scones, but like spelt it enscones instead? I'm just saying.
It seems like a gap in the market. You should really fill it.
Awful pun, and I will burn it down if you do.
Ollie, do you want to open a cafe?
Okay.
It can have Ewan's picture as like the patron.
No, it can't. I do not release my picture. for
Like a lovely
digital
picture of
usage.
Mal.
A nice picture. Mao would look quite good on front of a cafe, actually.
He would, though.
He's very charming. Not the dictator, Katya, for the record.
yeah, I was sitting here wondering.
Though he did, for years keep his notes in a little red book, which I thought was funny, if a bit on the nose, and it turned out to just be a complete coincidence.
That does sound like the kind of coincidence that Mao would have.
He misspelled his name once, typing it into Super Smash Brothers, and never quite lived it down. So
Is that how that came about?
Yeah. The five of you traipse over to the cafe. It is, in a word, comfortable. The outside is cold and bitter as October begins to set in, winds battering the island. But inside ghouls, ghasts, and ghosts, the sofas are made of thick, old leather, the type worn down by many, many years of people sitting on it until you're practically eaten by the seats. You can smell cinnamon fresh coffee and perhaps a pinch of nutmeg drifting over from behind the counter. There are exactly 2 other clients in there, one who is transparently a local, making use of the free Wi-Fi and tippity-tapping away on their small laptop, and the other who looks to be, like you, an early arriving tourist, currently flipping through a booklet of the best ghost spots on the island. It is, even from this distance, noticeably quite thick.
2 or 3.
I will make sure that I am not at all in front of the laptop or in range of any webcam that it might have built in.
Roll drive for me. Drive perception, I guess. Diff
Does your
7.
scooter make a very loud reverse beeping noise?
No, I modded it.
I like it.
Beware, the person
What was it?
is
Drive
reversing.
perception, did you say?
Drive perception, diff 7.
Cool.
Where the person is being stealthy and has removed the voice.
Boy! It's 4 successes.
4
God
success.
damn.
Well, and the 10. I suppose you don't have a specialty. Although if you do have a specialty in stealth driving, that's fucking hilarious.
I do not. I've only got 2 points in drive.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. You're actually surprisingly used to, turns out, to doing this. Turns out you've done it quite a few times. You know, positioning yourself so that you're not seen by any available camera inside tiny cafes is a huge part of your life, really. Like, weirdly large. You're able
It's
to
not that weird.
thread your course over to a portion of the cafe that puts you out of range of both what looks to be the security camera, at least the one you can see inside the room, and never quite in front of the laptop's reverse camera.
He's rather good at that, isn't he?
Had a lot of practice.
The little jangle of the bell as you enter the shop has summoned the proprietor, a wizened old man who you, Elizabeth Fortune, would know as Nelson Wise.
Hello, Nelson. How are you?
He shoots you a wide, bright grin, each tooth perfectly white. Oh, tired, moving stock in at the moment, expecting the rush to start any day now. October always brings them in. Who are your friends?
Tourists. I'm showing them around. Aren't they lovely?
He gives the 4 of you a deep bow. Welcome to Ghouls, Ghasts, and Ghosts, your source for anything spooky or comfortable on the island.
Thank you.
Can I get any of you anything? He gestures vaguely back at the menu behind him. There's a slew of local cakes, teas, coffees available.
Oh,
Nelson, dear, could we get Earl Grey for all of them, please?
Todd puts his hand down.
He nods. Pop for the table. Got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now,
Do you have a VPN here?
he strokes his beard. No, I'm afraid not. I don't think anyone's ever asked that question before.
Well, if you want advice on them, I'd be more than happy to help. But as it stands at the moment, if you don't have one, I hope you don't mind if I use my own.
I only really know what they are from NordVPN ads.
I see.
But of course, go right ahead, as long as it doesn't cost anything or introduce any viruses into the network drives.
No, of course not. Just protects us from watching eyes.
Yes, of course. Turns around, visibly muttering something under his breath. I actually just need to nip to the toilet real quick. I will be right back, folks.
Don't have too much fun.
Was that what the shopkeep says, or is that
No,
what you're saying?
that's me saying it. Slightly nonplussed the phrase, don't have too much fun.
You and Mr. P.
I mean,
What a
not by the
fucking
sound of it.
nerd.
What a fucking nerd. Who pees these days?
I know,
Mhm.
right? Who has time for that bullshit?
I just,
Right.
squeeze it out in one large, much like how a bird does it, more solid.
Well, you do have a cloaca, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are we back to the cloacas now?
Yeah,
Didn't take long.
didn't even leave.
I wonder if he's paused the recording.
Probably not.
Well,
So I guess now would be a good time for all those swear words.
Yep.
Any Swedish profanity you want to learn while we're at it?
Ooh, something that equates to cunt.
Cunt.
Mm,
I mean, you were pretty spot on with fitta before. That's pretty.
that's true. That's true. All right, dick. In that case,
Kook.
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 Yeah.
I'll try my best. My accent's going to be terrible.
I mean, that's part of the charm.
That's very polite.
We're a polite, passive-aggressive people.
Yeah,
Are we discussing Swedish culture?
sure. Culture.
Yeah, I was being polite.
Culture. Sure.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
What Ollie, what were they on? Snitch on them.
Meth.
God damn it. It's supposed to help you focus. Screw.
Yeah, we're focusing in on not telling you.
God damn it. I'm going to stab this cat now. Yeah.
No,
Also.
Stop stabbing your cat.
that's not his fault.
You've
is that a
made me
new
do this.
euphemism?
What, stab the cat?
Yeah.
I mean,
There you go. Now the cat is damp.
Can't come round tonight. I'm going to be stabbing the cat.
Oh,
It's not
Baz,
the
you look
cat.
so betrayed. You and your little dumb face.
You stabbed him. Of course
Well,
he
I
feels
didn't
betrayed.
stab him. I put his head in my mouth.
Oh, so you just lied to us.
You plotted treason.
I'm on webcam.
it's a me.
Well, he just clawed me right in the stomach. Stomach? That's not stomach. Ribs. So,
Good job, Baz. I'm proud of you.
Well, get stabbed by the cat is probably about as close as you can get.
what on earth was happening here? Alright, okay. Let's get the show on the road.
I'm not sure you actually want the answer to that, so.
So, the five of you settle in. Oh, I should probably be tokens, actually, shouldn't I? We'll use a group token for the time being. It is traditional to make the choice between doggos or fantasy creatures.
Some doggos in a little while.
Where are the doggos? Here we go. Alright, give me your favourite D&D character class, Ollie.
Oh, Artificer.
Also
More
is.
standard than that.
Oh, Wizard.
You got Pug.
Yay! Wizard Pug.
Oh god, there's so many people. And the Pug goes to Todd Jones. Cool.
I vaguely recall the Warlock one being fabulous as fuck.
Well, I take it you'd like a Warlock then, Katya.
I mean, not my favorite class, but I do recall that dog having the most fabulous hair. Yeah.
Okay. You have rolled. I don't know what breed that is, actually, I'm afraid.
It's vaguely French.
You can't just see that it's got big hair and say that it looks vaguely French.
And yet, it works.
Right?
So mad at you. John, what's your favourite standard-ish D&D character class?
Let's go with fighter this time.
Fighter. You got a big boy doggo.
Oh,
What is that, a German Shepherd? It's the
Sure, why not?
anti-Eugene. Nikki, what's your favourite D&D standard-ish D&D character class?
Cleric.
Cleric. Scotty Dog.
Yay!
Oh my.
So many NPCs!
We're NPCs.
No, there's so many fucking NPCs when I go to, like, give you your nameplates, I have to cycle through everyone who's not archived on the fucking server. And Sophie, what is your favourite standardish D&D character class?
Ranger.
You got Husky.
Yeah, boy.
That was a fucking solid-ass little vocal sting there.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost like I can sing.
I have no idea if you can or not.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you sing. You seem like you could sing.
I do sing, yeah.
That's good. You should sing more, Sophie.
Does and is good at it.
Sing all the goddamn time. If you live with me, you'd get really annoyed.
Well, I don't.
Disagree
I
entirely.
don't know. John lives with you, and he was just, like, talking up your singing.
It's true.
An invitation to come live with you guys.
Alright,
I think you and I should put an album out, so.
let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now.
I want to learn how to sing at some point. Soon.
I'm actually quite glad you can't sing, Ollie. I don't think you should be trusted with that power.
There's 2 videos of me singing on Facebook, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't make me happier. Cool.
Can't work out if I'm insulted or not.
As the 5 of you sink in, as the 5 of you sink into the comfy sofas of the cafe, your tea on the way, in this warm, scented atmosphere, your conversation turns to the reason that you're here. Just get a little rundown from everyone in like 1 to 2 sentences or less. What are you hoping to get out of being on this haunted island? Do you want to see a ghost? Do you want to obtain proof of ghosts? Do you want to... What do you feel like doing? We'll do this in... Let's do Discord order. Katya, what is your hope for being on the island? And then we'll use this to like inform what quest you get or how you go off on it.
I mean, my hope for being on this island is obviously trying to catch something on camera, preferably proof of the supernatural, but, you know, as long as it makes for a good show, I'm happy.
It's fair. And meanwhilst, we have next up is Elizabeth Fortune. Now, obviously, your long-term goal is find a way to contact your ghost cat and maybe bring them back, I think you said? Or at least find a way to talk to them.
Yes.
But how does having your ghost hunting friends on this island like serve that? What are you hoping to get them to help with?
Well, frankly, I know nothing about ghosts or ghost hunting or, internet or pretty much anything outside of cats because I'm very secluded, usually. But hopefully these delightful fellows can help me do that. Yes, teach me some stuff and then leave.
Excellent. A crash course on ghost hunting and then bugger off so you can look for your cat.
Yep.
Who you're certain must have persisted past the veil of death just to see you one last time. Mr. Todd Jones.
It is my it is my sacrosanct belief that ghosts and other paranormal phenomena are a fundamentally understandable force, and I'm here to calculate, measure, probe, and eventually prove they are real. Maybe not in that order.
Okay. That makes sense. So, similar objective to Agatha Gray, but with a little bit more zeal to it. You won't be happy if you can't prove that ghosts are real, whereas Agatha will be happy as long as she can scream convincingly in a way that's monetizable.
Mm-hmm.
But preferably also ghosts.
These new money people.
Digital nomad is the term. Thank you very much. Cool. Next up, Sky Harper. What are you hoping to get out of being on Ghost Island?
Ghost Island.
A way to get the ghost to stop talking to me.
Yeah, find some way to break this medium curse.
Low-level curse rather than the medium curse.
Have you tried to shrink, just out of curiosity?
To the wanker's corner it goes.
That didn't take long.
And I can't be my usual fast reaction this time because like there's actually a dialogue that appears now.
Yes.
I can press enter.
Hold on a sec. Can I perma move him? What if I move him to Wanker's Corner?
You can't just kick him.
Yeah, but if I kick him, he might get auto ban, and then we have to do a whole faff to get him back in the Discord.
I just re-invite them.
Fair.
You did get a very long groan of disapproval for that from Sunny.
Aw.
Andy loves puns. I know he does. I heard him say that to me in a dream once.
Pat, pat,
Well, that's
pat,
proof right there.
Dream chats with Nikki's dog.
They are surprisingly enlightening.
Okay. And finally, Eugene Francis. Is your hope? Sorry.
At the very least, proof that ghosts exist. If possible, proof that there is a government cover-up.
Okay. So you can assume then that some of this, the stuff of this that would have been tactful, has been communicated, and Elizabeth has got as far as love to learn how to hunt ghosts, but not mention the bit where she then wants to boot you all out immediately thereafter.
Well, they're all human, you see, and I don't really like humans.
You're more of a cat person.
Yes.
That's fair. So.
You're not one of those crazy cat people, are you?
I don't know what you mean.
A cat walks behind her on the sofa.
Have you considered living in a less touristy attraction place?
Well, I was, born here, and I've lived here my whole life. So it's not exactly like I had a choice, was it now?
A different cat walks behind her on the sofa.
Hello, Francis.
I feel like these cats are an early warning system.
For what?
Ghosts.
No, they're just cats, dear.
No, I can see that.
Cats can see ghosts.
Dear.
Yeah, it's a well-established phenomenon.
Is it really?
Yeah, cats can see ghosts.
Ah,
You
Just,
clearly have a lot to learn about ghosts.
Was that a laugh?
I think he was trying and failing to mock the Three Stooges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I thought that was in character.
It was entirely in character.
Yeah.
Is our tea ready, Nelson? Please.
Nelson potters on over to you with a rickety tray, tea jangling away on its little plate atop it. Yes. Here, bringing the cups over now. Slice of lemon, anybody?
Yes, please.
No, thank you.
Yes, please.
No.
I'll take lemon.
The the teacups are also awkwardly several minutes delayed, but Nelson arrives back eventually with the requisite amount of lemon slices, as well as teacups, on tiny chinaware saucers.
I turned to Elizabeth. Did my package arrive all right?
Oh, you mean that ghastly large box?
Took you
Yeah.
an hour and a half to get it inside the other day. It was
Yes,
so
it was-
ungodly heavy.
It was raining, and I slipped in the mud a couple of times, and there's stairs, and yes, I do have it. Yes.
I do hope nothing's broken. There's some very expensive pieces of equipment in there.
What about me? I nearly got broken.
Oh, you're replaceable. Some of those things, they just. And then he stops himself and he realizes he said the quiet part loud.
Yes, I do suppose I am replaceable, aren't I?
No, I didn't mean that. You're very, very required.
Am I?
Extremely so.
A third cat walks behind her menacingly on the sofa.
I'll come back to that in a minute. Can you see any ghosts here? Pointing at Sky. That's the third cat that's walked behind her in the past, 10 minutes.
I'm going to sort of look around vaguely and say, not really, no. They're thankfully quiet for 5 minutes, but don't you worry, one will be back in a couple of minutes to witter on about something else.
Strange. That's a lot of cats.
Yes, I own a cat sanctuary.
I think she just likes cats, honestly.
I have a lot of kibble in my pocket.
Oh, well, that explains it. Why?
Because I own a cat sanctuary.
I think you're the caretaker at a cat sanctuary, if I recall correctly.
Yes, it's mine.
I turn to Sky. Sky, is there any chance I could interview you later and potentially take some readings around you? I have some ideas.
Will you tell us if one sees fit to saunter over? I'd very much like to see if we can catch anything on camera.
If I have to.
Would you communicate for us as well? I have some questions for them. Please.
No.
Might help get rid of them. If we can find out what the government's using them for, then we can try and stop it.
Todd raised
Been
the
there.
Why
finger.
on earth would you
Done
think the
that.
government would want anything to do with our little island?
Todd raises a finger at hearing the ghost conspiracy theory, takes a deep breath, and then thinks better of it.
Are you the type of scientist to tell me to listen to the government and that they're always right?
Me?
I am the sort of scientist who
No,
isn't
that one.
getting I am the sort of scientist who isn't getting involved in this conversation.
Yes, this gathering of random people you gathered off of the internet, Elizabeth, has it's got a bit lukewarm, you know? Everyone's a little bit standoffish. It's almost like the social skills are either way too polished or nowhere near polished enough, and somehow the interfacing of the two is worse than it would be if just everyone had no social skills.
Everyone's just twitchy. But
Everyone's
also,
a bit twitchy, everyone's a bit weird. No one's convinced that any one other person isn't actually an axe murderer yet, and only one of you seems to think that it's fine as long as not everyone is an axe murderer.
I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody here is an axe murderer. Then if they were, I really don't care as long as I'm not the one they're after.
I'm pretty confident in my
I've been
mobility
labelled a
scooter and my
pretty
driving
accent.
skills.
Or trick scooting skills.
You know it.
Okay.
Have you considered selling the rights to a, well, let's call it ghost interview?
again,
A ghost interview. With you, obviously, acting as the intermediary, and I imagine that would go for quite a bit of, quite a few quid.
Okay. You have seen those idiotic so-called mediums on TV, right?
Oh, the shams?
Yeah, them.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what would happen if I decided to do that kind of bullshit with what I can do?
No.
I'm going to be labeled just like them. And I'm sorry. Being a medium is not fun. Whatever they make it out to be, ghosts are annoying as shit. Okay? I'm not sitting here for an interview with one of them because I'd never get a word in edgeways.
It sounds like you're doing that anyways, you're just not being paid for it.
sounds like it's not
I
the
am not
medium.
getting paid for being a goddamn medium. The whole point of me being here
You
is
have,
to stop being a medium.
you have to learn to market the skills you have.
But
I have
was
other
very
skills
interested in her skills.
that are a lot more
Thank you.
marketable than being a sham medium on TV. Thank you very much.
Todd privately thinks that it doesn't sound medium, it sounds pretty hard, actually.
It's the same exact
Go for it.
joke. You've already made it. Off to the corner he goes.
Can my character get an inexplicable urge to slap him and do so?
I wouldn't say that that's inexplicable at all. That's extremely applicable. No, he's just realised that he's off in the wanker's corner. Ah, there he goes.
They didn't even give me a warning bump there. They didn't even tell me. No noise. What is this?
It's a government conspiracy.
It's a government conspiracy to make it easier to put you in the fucking wanker's corner, Ollie.
You gotta fight the power, man.
Gotta fight power.
So, Elizabeth. Now, as I recall from your character bio, though you're not much of a one for computers, you are something of a wizard at the local library. Or witch, delete is appropriate.
Yes.
And as part of your scheme to become an adept ghost hunter in order to find the spiritual remnants of your deceased cat, You had looked up some likely ghost hunting spots. A little bit further away than a little bit less far away than the standard assorted tourist locations scattered throughout Scintilla. There is a little house, actually quite a medium-sized house, within Scantling.
And it's all to ghosts.
God damn it, John. Into the corner.
I mean, you kind of set that one up yourself.
You really did. You were asking for it.
So mad at you. Within Scantling is this entirely above average sized house. 21 Jacobs Place. Recently condemned. Now, you have no good reason to believe that there's ghostly activity there, Elizabeth, but it is a condemned building. It is within walking distance of your cat sanctuary. And you do live on Scintilla, a place that seems, at least if the stories are true, to be a magnet for ghosts. And you've seen tourists come here every year in their droves since you were a child.
Friends, I do have the location we were discussing online. I was wondering if you'd like to go there now.
Is the cat sanctuary where you also live?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to ask if I can drop my stuff off there first. It's a very heavy backpack, and I have very knobbly knees.
You want to go to my house?
I think we'd all like to get settled in first, at least.
You recall with dawning horror that you did in fact promise that they could stay at your house.
Oh, fuck. Alright, well, finish up your mugs and we'll be right off, yes?
Sounds good.
I'm going to sort of pat Elizabeth on the arm briefly and say, well, I don't know about these guys, but I don't require that much space. And I promise I'll keep myself neat.
Thank you, but please don't touch.
No problem.
I'll lift my hand off and sort of look vaguely apologetic.
Thank you. All ready? Let's go.
One by one, the party down their mugs, leave the warmth of the little cafe, and trudge out into the oncoming winter cold. It's early morning, and the breeze rolling in from the western Atlantic sweeps across the island, broken only slightly by the two large woods far to the west. It shouldn't really feel as cold as it is, but especially for the non-native Scintillans, you feel a chill down to your very bones. A disproportionately frosty island.
A bit nippy this time of year.
This is freezing.
Yes.
Is it always this windy?
Yes.
Island.
Why do you still live here?
I wear lots of jumpers.
It is at this point that you see from the rear she leads the way, her first jumper begin to ride up a little bit, to reveal beneath it a second, even woollier jumper.
I did say bring something warm.
She did, but you all just kind of assumed that, strange island folk, they're always jumper-obsessed weirdos. Not like us mainlander Britons, eh? What?
It's not far, come along.
The wind
I'm
almost
gonna
seems to
look
carry
at.
the words away.
I'm gonna look down at my trench coat.
You gather the thick leather around you, and, like an angry gothic penguin, swarm after her.
An angry gothic penguin.
Even though it's only barely early October, you can in fact see that a lot of the shop windows indeed have actual rhymes of hoarfrost on them. And this calls your attention to the assorted tourist shops as you pass. Place after place offering ghost tours, ghost hunting equipment, Halloween costumes, knickknacks, all manner of paraphernalia.
Can I call up my ally, my student friend, and ask him to gather for me the weather records for the last 50 years of the island and compare it to the weather records of the mainland?
That's quite a task at random. I'll let you do it, but you're going to have to roll.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he knows why I'm here. It's not like this is a complete surprise. Both my ally and my mentor are aware that I'm here for the reasons I am.
Yeah, but you're asking him to compare.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I mean, just
50
like
years worth of records is a lot of work.
Maybe just the last 5 years. I don't know. Maybe the last 10 years then.
Because you do a weather report on the weekly, right? So that means you're averaging about just shy 100 per year for the both plus cross referencing.
Yeah.
So for the last 5 years is about 500 dull-ass weather reports. For the last 50 years is like 5,000 dull-ass weather.
I think the last 5 years.
Okay, I will take. What tone are you taking with your student ally, your compatriot?
He's a friend of mine who has this. Just calling up with, hey mate, I've arrived on the island, and there's already something a bit weird about it. The weather here, it's a bit strange.
What? I can barely hear you. It's so windy.
It's so cold, and it's really windy.
You're so old. We're the same age.
It's really windy. I'm cupping my hands around the speaker. Why are you calling me old? It's cold and windy.
I'm not being bold. What do you... Just text me.
In text him.
One awkward text conversation later.
This guy's just going to be kecking silently the entire time of this.
Do you want me to roll for that, or is that an easy enough roll because it's 5 years?
I mean, it's still like 500 weather reports. So yeah, I will take expression over your choice of charisma or manipulation, depending on how honest you feel you're being here, what your relationship with your friend at the Falmouth University is. We'll call it Div 6.
It'll be charisma over expression.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is a long-suffering friend you've worn down, but who's not... Is that a botch? Oh, no, simple failure. You got an 8.
Simple failure, yeah.
You get a botch. He goes, no, I'm not doing this for you. You've got the internet, you can do it yourself.
Fuck you dumb whore.
Simple failure. He says, awkwardly, after like 5 solid minutes of Falmouth friend is typing, stop. Falmouth friend is stop. Stop. Falmouth friend is typing, stop. Finally, eventually gets around to, I will compare the weather reports for this year, assuming they're easy to find, and I will send you those.
Fine. And text back, it's really windy here.
You get back a reply. If it's that windy, why do you need the weather reports? You clearly know the weather.
And it's weirdly windy here. Thank you.
In all caps, you're in fucking Cornwall. ... Okay. Exhausted emoji.
Heart emoji.
Long pause. Heart emoji.
What? No eggplant?
No eggplant just yet. We'll see if that develops into an eggplant relationship. We're at heart emoji levels at the moment.
I did think it.
I mean, I think it'd be the first time I've played out a romance subplot with Ollie. I've played out romance subplots with other people. The tradition is that we try and, like, Barbie and Ken doll force Ollie and Sophie's characters together. Is what we've historically done in previous games.
I was going to say my Black Crusade character and Nikki's character, that wasn't romance. That was
that wasn't romance. That was you getting used and torn up and spit out like the fine piece of robotic arse you were.
I was going for a hellish tumble dryer, but you wanted another go anyway.
And that's not romance?
He was playing a Zechian mutant biological robot thing, almost completely incapable of feeling, let alone arousal. But the Slaneshi found a way. If I recall correctly, it was, you know the scene on the Titanic with the car? It was that. But
It was exactly that.
with the fucking Slaneshi pirate princess and the awkward Zinchian robot.
Not seen Titanic, but you're not making it sound less romantic. Just saying.
It was not romantic. It was very
It was
much
not romantic in the slightest.
He
It
was-
was very much Zoya is just a slut.
he was seduced because he was supposed to be impossible to seduce, and then the second he'd been seduced, it was, well, check that one off the bucket list and thrown to the winds.
I think it happened once more where I had a literal floating. I had slab, but slab was full of drugs, and I was like, how about a second round?
Wait, you slab a person?
Slab was my
Sort of.
floating.
I mean,
Necron.
technically, Slab was a person
Yeah.
It was a space marine as a.
before it became Slab.
It was kind of like a space marine neophyte put into some maybe Necron metal and flash.
You'd
melded.
Han Solo'd a Space Marine
Yeah.
neophyte who landed
Yeah.
in your lab in, as I recall, a teleporting accident.
Yes.
And then built into the base of the Han Solo stuff, like hover platform, and then used it as your like U-Haul / handbag / occasional transportation, even though he only really went at walking pace, which meant that whenever everyone else was flying, you'd be like lagging behind at 6 meters per turn, a gentle stroll.
Yeah, but no one was laughing when he tanked all those shots. He got us alive when we had to charge that last city, remember?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I was chased by a fucking gatehouse.
All right, okay. I will call pace on this, but for
Yeah.
Katya's reference, they bolt have changed. If I recall correctly, they bolt have changed this gatehouse. The gatehouse got amazingly corrupted for reasons, and then the gatehouse became a boss enemy and grew tentacles and started.
Chased after the Puman torch.
Yeah, started like fighting both sides, the defenders and the attackers, in this giant gatehouse kaiju action.
It's because I rolled 14d10 on that bolt of change.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga is a role model.
Essentially.
Well, rather than the giant chicken legs, I think I had it with have you ever played Carrion?
No.
Fuck. Okay, so imagine the Thing tentacles.
Yeah.
This was before I played Carrion, actually, but still. So yeah, it was, but it was also a gatehouse, which made for some interesting mobility problems. Anywho.
For the gatehouse.
Oh, there were so many issues.
Anywho.
The one time I forgot to turn off Nurgle's Rot.
The five of you traipse along, with Todd awkwardly on the phone and then texting, but I get the feeling you're one of those people who narrates the stuff they're texting as they're texting it at the speed they're texting it.
Absolutely, yes.
Up to and including emojis.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's kind of your back soundtrack. And for the rest
Do
of
you do you not have a code that you use when you talk to your people about this kind of thing?
Yes,
You know they're listening to everything, right?
I do use a code. It's called the English language.
You know the government is listening to everything that goes through those things, right? Reading everything. Do you want them to know what you're doing?
I show him WhatsApp, but it says it's encrypted at the top.
I think you're overestimating how much they care.
Yeah, you say that now. Just wait until they get you up on things. Taken completely out of context.
Something about his tone suggests he may have personal experience, or at least thinks he has personal experience.
Todd wonders how he can codify asking for a weather report.
Everyone stop, my dog is sleepwalking.
Aww.
Oh,
Aww.
Sonny.
I love that. I don't think I've ever actually seen your dog on video awake. He's always just napping. It's the life I want to live.
Yeah, that is one impressive nap.
It's he looks
He
so
hasn't
comfortable.
moved for the last 45 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, for a while there, I was like, is this a video or is it like a profile pic?
It's definitely a video.
oh man.
He's just a sleepy good boy.
Very sleepy good boy. So, before long, you arrive at the cat sanctuary. Sophie, do you want to paint us a picture? What does Elizabeth's cat sanctuary look like? Now, I will remind you preemptively that you have 2 dots in this, I believe. Yes, 2 dots. So the larger you make it, the more run down it'll have to be. But I'm not going to put a restriction on size. So it's up to you.
The old ends.
It does actually look like most of the other houses in the area on the outside, but there are a lot of vines and catnip growing on the outside. There are cats lying about everywhere, on like the drains, the windowsills, and inside you can see there's a really nice window, and it's nicely furnished as well, with the best of Pinterest has to offer. You can see there's a lot of really comfortable seats, a nice little cafe area, but no one seems to be manning it right now. A nice counter, some weird art on the walls, and just a shit ton of cats everywhere.
Wait,
What kind of
you haven't-
condition are the cats in?
They're all looking healthy and happy.
So wait, you haven't figured out the internet, but you figured out Pinterest.
Oh no, she just managed to nail that aesthetic, you know.
Ah,
Pinterest takes ideas from her.
Also, Pinterest is on the favorites bar at the library's internet computer thing. So when she goes there to get the digital newspapers,
It came
Go.
pre-installed on my phone when I had
Exactly.
to upgrade, and you know, it's been useful for that, and that's about it. Like, actually browsing the internet is a whole other thing entirely.
funnily enough, that's how she first got into Reddit.
It was pre-installed on my phone, baby.
Yes, those fantastic fucking 2021 phones that come with Reddit and Pinterest pre-installed. Ah. And also Bandcamp for no readily apparent reason.
very
Check out my SoundCloud.
Sorry.
very quaint. Does it smell better on the inside, perhaps?
Well,
Yeah, you don't really process a smell. You've never really thought about it. Maybe it does smell. You've not really passed that notion before. To everyone else, there is an overwhelming reek of cat. That strong, musty, dusty smell. That there is so much cat hair in here, you could build several additional cats. Stink.
I take another antihistamine.
Brings into question where those sweaters come from.
they're not made of cat hair.
And yet there's enough cat hair on the outside that it's difficult
Don't-
to prove
Don't
the
shame
veracity.
me in character. How dare you?
You live in a house with dozens of cats. I'm sorry.
I have lint rollers. I have a sticky buddy.
I like the idea of you just walking out for a
Sophie.
giant sticky roller. You just get through like a human car wash every day.
I have one cat, and it is impossible to keep cat hair
Oh
off
no,
my
there's
clothes.
definitely cat hair.
Yeah,
on
like
it.
you
Don't
are.
Don't
yeah.
worry. I'm not denying that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that she thinks she doesn't have
Oh,
any.
that's fine. Yeah, as long as it's in character denial that you're covered in cat hair, as your face is like currently wafting off little bits of cat hair that have got stuck to it.
Exactly.
Those aren't eyebrows.
I was wondering why she had 2 sets of eyebrows.
I'm going to ignore everybody and see if any of the cats are interested in coming over to say hello.
Okay. I will take.
Back in a sec.
Empathy. Charisma, please, Sky. Difficulty 7. Simple failure. No, they seem to sort of take that standard cat attitude of ignoring that you're there, their equivalent of a friendly and welcome gesture. None of them seem especially keen to come up even when you pss, 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 or hold your hand out in the traditional cat gesture of hello. They do, however, enjoy swarming around Elizabeth. Who, as she
Sorry about that.
opens...
They're quite tame. They're just they're all bit rescues, so you know.
Who, as she opens the door, Can I get a retroactive strength plus athletics roll, difficulty 8, please, Elizabeth?
For what?
Well, for moving that incredibly heavy package in and up the stairs yesterday.
Oh, Jesus, right. Okay, yeah.
Botch.
Oh, fucking hell.
I was kind. It's only diff 8. You can do this. I believe in you.
Wow.
That's a 10.
That's a 10.
Nice.
You actually managed it. At great personal cost. You managed to get that gear upstairs. You have no idea how.
Struggle.
The inside of the cat sanctuary is slathered in cat hair on every surface. Litter boxes, food, water, toys, and an omnipresent thin layer of kibble seem to shroud the entirety of the interior. How many rooms you got in this place, Sophie?
There's 5 rooms.
Just 5 little rooms. Where does everyone want to try and sleep? What are you doing?
Well, I would like to sleep in my bedroom and with no one else. Thank you very much.
I'll take a look around. Take a few pictures. Why the hell not?
Are the cats restricted to down here?
No. Why would they be?
How would they be?
With doors, cats can't open those typically.
Depends on the cat, actually. I know significantly more than a handful of cats that can open a variety of doors.
Also, have you tried locking out a cat with a door when a cat really wants to come through?
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, it's not easy.
It's not for nothing that Isaac Newton invented the cat door, I'm just saying.
I did not know that.
Wait, that was him? That's incredible.
His house has the oldest cat door, the oldest known cat door. So yeah, quite possibly. I mean, probably wasn't the first, but he was probably one of the first.
I often think that if Ollie were alive centuries ago, he probably would have invented the cat door.
Yeah,
It gives
that's
off
fair.
that aesthetic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay, you didn't hear any of that, we're fine.
What was left? What were you saying?
So we were talking about John
Cat doors.
and his cat door, yeah.
Word.
So,
And Eugene's allergies.
I'll take a speedy performance charisma check from Agatha, please, for taking your pictures and presumably adding to your Insta story. We're gonna call this a diff 6. It's not too difficult to frame this as like, hey, look at this weird island I'm on.
Be in the picture.
Sorry,
Can I be in the picture?
you can photobomb.
I mean, I'll take one with you.
I'll get a bit of Mrs. Barnabas as well.
Yeah,
If you point out which one is Mrs. Barnabas, absolutely.
Mrs.
A
Barnabas
huge,
is
ugly-faced, white-haired cat.
almost
Aw.
unmistakable. Mrs. Barnabas looks like nothing so much as the head of a pug transplanted onto a colossal Maine Coon.
But
I'll
sweet as
give it a
hell.
little pet.
She's
Take
nice.
a picture.
Is it drooly?
Drools
You've,
gently. 2 long, thick, ropey strands. You note a distinct, sluggish trail leading back from where she trotted into the room, happy to see her caretaker.
Oh, good, isn't she?
Yes. Very
With-
cute.
3 successes, you're able to do a beautiful whirlwind tour of the Scintilla Cat Sanctuary, ranked number 1 of 1 in the island.
Competition means I'm the best.
This goes straight on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
There are 2 toilets, only one of which works. One upstairs, one downstairs.
Does
There's-
the cats use the toilet?
I assume the cats have clogged up the downstairs one with the cat hair.
Well, let's leave it. It's Sophie's place. Sophie, why does Elizabeth's downstairs toilet not work?
That's
Because
a
it's
real-
a fucking island and getting a plumber out here sucks.
Just use the upstairs toilet. There's a post-it note stuck to the front of it. It's rude to ask people why their toilets are broken. Conversation sort of plateaus there. Other than that, there's a living room with 3 sofas, only one of which is quite large, all of which are almost completely invisible beneath their thick coating of cat hair, a kitchen with a number of cracked floor tiles in it, as well as a wide selection of cat-themed novelty mugs. And then that leaves you with, I believe, 2 spare rooms. Is there anything special going on with those, Sophie?
One of them is extremely normal. Extremely normal.
Aggressively beige.
Aggressively beige. There is just a nice picture of the bay on one of the walls. The bed is like very nice and just white sheets and just very plain. The other one is literally covered in pink cats.
Wait. White sheets and an army of cats?
Yes, this is where Mrs. Barnabas tends to sleep.
Ah.
You note the distinct drool pattern atop the sheets, discolouring them.
I do try my best, but she's rather dribbly.
Yes,
it's always the exact same spot.
So whoever sleeps here, you're probably going to get troubled on. I've got a bib if you need it.
Lovely.
And the other room is covered head to toe in pink neon cats, as far as I heard.
Mm-hmm. Pink neon cats, like a 6-year-old girl's dream.
At the very top of the stairs, just for Todd, your supplies, and we made Sophie roll strength athletics. She got a 10. She actually passed. Your supplies, your giant sack of expensive material, which may or may not be officially on loan from Falmouth University, arrived, and she hauled it inside, and she hauled it upstairs without issues. Even a cursory examination shows that it's basically an okay nick. A little bit of travel damage, but, nothing that you can't say wasn't there already when you took it out. Ollie?
Has he muted himself?
No, I was looking at equipment. I didn't realize you were talking to me. I was looking at the equipment.
So sad.
Sorry,
I knocked the equipment upstairs for you, and I rolled really well, and you should be fucking grateful.
I am incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
I am going to go and crack the lid open on my equipment, and is there a room I can set up in?
You can pick whatever room you like, just not mine. Ha ha
ha. Okay, which one's yours? So I don't pick it?
The room on the top floor, thank you.
Ah, okay. Which room has the least amount of cat hair?
All of them, sorry.
Having got the equivalent answer of yes, I guess, can I roll a perception plus, I don't know, alertness?
I'm going to let you roll perception alertness, Ollie, but I'm going to go ahead and call it diff 10.
Okay.
This is essentially impossible, but if you pass, you'll find the one holy grail place.
Right, so alertness, 70, 10.
Jesus.
Oh, close. No cigar, though.
But no cigar, but not a botch. No, your thorough examination of the house reveals that nowhere is free of cat hair. You think maybe the bathroom might be a fair shout, but no, that too. Both of them, the working one and the non-working one, have cat hair. The bathtub, indeed, you're not sure how it drains out of the plug. You assume she must clean it every time.
It's a non-Newtonian fluid, just cat hair suspended in it.
There is so much cat hair. Suddenly, why Elizabeth hasn't called a plumber makes sense. If there's anywhere near as much cat hair in her pipes as there is in the rest of the house, it would imply that she would need to essentially have all of the plumbing redone. It doesn't take too long after this, well, actually probably more like 45 minutes to an hour's worth of quibbling and squabbling before you're able to sort out the rooming situation. And by that, I mean we're going to say that Todd gets the pink neon cats room.
Eugene will go with Todd.
Okay.
There are going to be a lot of cameras and a lot of laptops in there, just so you're aware.
I will be very carefully putting tape across all of the cameras.
Well, you can't just do that to my cameras. Todd is going to get very annoyed.
To be fair,
I take it off when you actually use the equipment. You're not going to be using the equipment on us.
What was that from Katya?
I brought my own share of cameras, and I'm more likely to use them on us.
Yeah. See?
And with this, after a brief negotiation, Eugene is put in the other room, far away from the two camera-crazed members of his crew. which I believe, unfortunately, leaves Agatha and Sky downstairs in the living room. But there is a pullout. Okay, folks.
Sky's just gonna brush off the sofa and settle on that.
It's fine, you brought a sleeping bag, you kind of figured there'd be something like this happening. What was that, Ollie?
What was it you were asking me that I wasn't paying attention to because I was reading?
It was just a descriptive segment for you.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Ollie. I'll just... I mean, it's at least entertainingly ironic that you missed the descriptive segment because you were looking at equipment, which was the thing the descriptive segment was about. So I applaud your staying in character, but yeah, single tear of sadness. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not returning your heart. I'm not giving you the other half. I saw that movie with Sean Connery, and then that guy became a Hitler.
Single tear, man.
Don't single tear for Hitler.
Wait.
Ah, dear. So, folks, you've had a little bit of a talk. You've got yourselves sort of awkwardly situated. Halfway through all of this mess, Todd's got a frustrating report about weather that indicates that Windy Island in Atlantic is indeed windy. You get the vague feeling like your ally maybe didn't put as much research into this as they could have.
Mm-hmm. I'm only having words with Alan.
Yeah, Alan. From Falmouth University.
Fucking Alan.
Fucking Alan.
Why are you like this, Alan?
Right.
And so the five of you managed to bond over Alan really not taking this shit seriously.
Yeah, about that, Alan.
Okay.
Why do you even use him? Why don't you get someone better?
Oh, that's Stretch, though.
That's a good dog.
Stretch. I mean,
Yep.
Alan's good people. He's just, I was talking about this to him for months. About going here. Months.
And Alan was so encouraging, so enthusiastic about you leaving the university for a bit and going off to this remote island far away from him. He's just been so supportive.
To be fair, he is technically only a one-dot friend.
It kind of sounds like he was trying to get rid of you.
Okay, one dot friend is how I'm gonna rank all my friends from now on.
Oh,
You'll be getting a review card, Ewan.
Ewan sad.
He's a one-dot friend, but a three-dot resource because of the cat photos.
Fucking calendar, man.
Yeah, you're the only reason we know how long quarantine's been going.
That's not true. It's this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a big contributor. Look at these beans.
Yeah.
quarantine cat helps you know how long you've been stuck inside the house.
My brain went stuck inside the hoe.
Wow, I was being good for once.
Oh.
How the turntables.
So,
What's the ghost, Ewan?
where is the ghost? That's a good question. You've been kind of nervously waiting for this moment to bring this up again. Of 21 Jacob's Place. It's just a few streets over from here, recently condemned, and as mentioned, you have no evidence to believe that it's haunted, but it seems spooky and it's on Ghost Island. What's your plan here, Elizabeth? How are you going to convince everyone else that they need to go to the spooky house? And if so, almost the most important question when ghost hunting, when are you going to go to the spooky house for the first time? In broad daylight or after dark? The ferry arrived in the morning, so it's probably somewhere between 11 and 12 at the moment.
Right, well, chaps, you probably know more about this than I do, but I do know my way around the little area, and I do believe that, and I'll pull out one of the touristy maps that I've got on one of the shelves. I do believe around here in Jacob's Place, Jacob Street, that's particularly renowned for its hauntings. I don't know what time you'd like to go, though.
How about we go now, and then perhaps later during the evening as well? We can take different measurements, see what changes.
Yeah, might as well scout the place out now.
Set up
Especially
some
if you don't know it at
cameras.
all.
Sky sort of shrugs and says, contrary to a lot of popular belief, ghosts don't give a shit what time of day it is. Things just always appear spookier at night.
Really?
I have video footage that strongly disagrees.
It's good footage as well.
Yeah, excellent footage.
Are you a medium?
No, I'm a ghost hunter.
Well, there you go then.
Elizabeth
I
in
am
the
simply
corner.
a purveyor of the truth.
Elizabeth in the corner with a notepad, scribbling down hints and tips as people say them.
Fascinating stuff. All right, I can take you there right now if you want.
Might as well.
Sure, let's go.
Stuffed
Why
up
not?
and with a base of operations set up at the Scintilla Cat Sanctuary.
Do you have anywhere that I can park my scooter when we're staying overnight? I don't want it to get damaged by the weather.
You have a disused front garden with an awning you could pull out for it, but it's probably quite mouldy.
I have that.
Can I take a few?
Sure, that'll do.
Sorry, Ollie?
Can I take a few bits of equipment with me?
Certainly. Just your basic ghost hunting stuff, I assume.
It's going to be a thermal camera and an EMF meter.
Fair. I think a thermal camera is likely to be a bit less reliable than day. I guess it's cold out, though.
There's 3 dots, and then an EMF meter is 1 dot. I do have 5 dots of resource. I don't know if you want me to roll it anyway.
No, it's fine. I'm happy for you to have a thermal camera and an EMF counter. I think with the way you spec it makes sense.
Yeah. I also have night vision goggles, but I'm not taking them with me today.
Night vision goggles during the day?
Yeah, with me. I take my entire forensic lab with me, though.
For sellers and things.
Yeah, I know. I'm
No
being
idea
silly.
what was in that box, but yeah, I'm
You pull off just
fascinated to see it now.
all you see is the top lid, and then there's the first layer of, like, you know how you get those biscuit tins with the multiple layers of biscuits? It's that, but with equipment. It's just that first layer is a couple of cameras and other bits and bobs and some cables.
Yes, if there's one skill that served old Todd Jones well in life, it's his ability to pack a decent bag.
And that crate and that bag, they are a good shit.
They used to call him Tetris Todd.
All right.
What a name!
Just assumed because it was lonely.
And yet he voluntarily went with Gersberm69 as his username.
Yes, perhaps.
It's not at all difficult to saunter on over the few streets it takes to get up to Jacob's Place, and from there, which one is 21 is extremely evident. Unlike the rest of the semi-detached houses, Jacob's Place stands alone and apart, on a small, and I do mean very small, hill. It's a house rather than a manse, but it's quite a large house. Maybe 2-3 times the size, at least in width, and probably depth, of the cat sanctuary, with a full 3 floors. It's also quite transparently mouldering, and even from the outside looks decrepit and somewhat unsafe. Tape flutters over the door. A large white band with stark, bold red lettering, reading "Condemned" over and over again.
Why was it condemned?
I was condemned multiple times.
It was just the tape you get.
Why was it condemned?
You get one more condemned sticker every year.
There was a fire a month or 2 ago. More or less gutted the place. The landlords who moved in after buying it a few years ago, they've basically just been absentees. Used to be a bit of a community fixture, but nowadays not so much.
Did anyone die?
As far as you turned up in your investigations, Elizabeth, no one died. There was, in fact, no one in the house. It was empty at the time.
All right, you'll get the names right eventually.
No, that was for Elizabeth. I know you're Agatha, but this knowledge is in Elizabeth's head, because she's the one who did the preliminary research.
Yeah.
It's not to say that I've memorized the names. I haven't. I just hadn't got them wrong that time.
I'm going to flip open the screen on the thermal camera and just start, looking through it.
Do you have a page on the thermal camera in the rulebook for me?
Yeah, 114.
114.
It's on the same page as the EMF meter. For EMF, I have to roll a whiz plus science check. I think we said science was academics in this case.
No, academics is more like your humanities generally.
Yeah, academics was academics. I think something else replaced science, but I don't remember what it was.
No, science is science.
Oh, okay, then I need to respec a little bit then. I didn't know science was a thing. I thought it was a replacement, not an addition. That's alright, I can just move all my 4 dots of academics into 4 dots of science.
That's perfectly fine. I grant ye permission. The winds gust high, and suddenly, Todd seems like a very slightly different kind of nerd.
There's less of a difference than you'd think, trust me.
I wouldn't know, I studied the arts.
The art of what?
The art what?
The art of word.
I did video games and creative writing.
Oh, jeez.
What a nerd.
What a nerd.
What a nerd? Yeah, alright, but, I against all odds do actually use my degree, which I would not have called when I was taking
You're
it.
one of 6 people in the world who uses their English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, don't even swear. I don't use mine.
I use mine every
At least you're in
day.
the right field for yours.
Yeah, you've got a real degree as well, though, Katya, is the thing.
Do I?
Hey, mine's a real degree.
What's your degree in?
Games design.
That's
But
fair.
it's real.
So
I just don't use it.
I mean, I'm generally of the opinion that game design as a degree helps quite a bit with QA anyway.
Oh, hell yeah.
BMC is going to let me
Yeah,
use
but I
my
work in
degree.
finance.
BMC's going to let you use his degree?
Use my degree.
Wait, why is BMC using your degree?
He wants me to give him a talk on how inbreeding works.
Oh, no, that's just public clamour for the inbreeding talk. We all want that.
What?
A mummy and a daddy love each other very much, who are
And mommy and
related.
daddy are siblings.
I mean, they could be
Huh?
cousins.
Shouldn't that start when a brother and a sister love each other very much? They become a mummy and a daddy.
Wow.
And thus the cycle continues.
I have to snip the whole incest section out.
Yeah.
So, all incest aside for just one moment. Thermal camera. You were going to use the thermal camera or the EMF meter, Ollie?
Can I use both?
Yes, you can. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to have the EMF meter on my side, clipped to my belt or something, or turned on, and then when it squawks, I'll do a wits plus science check to see if I've got a false positive. And the thermal camera, I'm just recording.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to do a sweep with my hand cam. Just go through the house, shoot every room, get a lay of the land.
Brings out shotgun. Shoot what we got every room's house.
Now, you're in rural England, so if you're going to encounter guns, predominantly you would encounter hunting shotguns. But they'd also be more out in the countryside rather than in the admittedly small city.
Mhm.
So,
I've forgotten what antecessor is.
it is a friendly ghost from your family, usually your family tree.
That's it, yeah.
Do you have that as a merit? Because that means once you get rid of your ability, fuck you, Grandma, I ain't speaking to you again.
Well, no, not necessarily.
It's true.
She could still be watching out for me, I just wouldn't be able to interact with her or hear her.
Yeah, Grandma just needs to learn to possess people, and it's golden.
Grandma
Pretty
needs to back off.
Grandma needs to chill the fuck out.
Grandma needs to take some fucking space.
Yeah, Grandma, get to space with ye.
Fucking grandma.
That's where we should put all the ghosts.
Space.
No, no.
Do it.
Yeah, put all the ghosts in space.
So, as you reach the building and the 5 of you stand in front of it for a moment in the windy October morn, a sense of awe seeps into about 3 of you. The other 2 charge into the building, equipment at the ready, One with their
Wait.
professional ghost hunting gear, and the other with her camera. Sorry?
How ghastly does the house look from the outside? Because I need a thumbnail picture as well.
From the outside, between the shadows of the island, the rustling of the wind, the howling of the wind even, the low, keening sounds, and its fire-burnt interior giving it a darkened, indeed darkling appearance through its assorted shattered windows and gently opened doors. It looks quite unsettling. You all came here for a ghostly time, but even the one of you who actually lives on the island feels something a little bit awkward at the base of their spine. Not quite a tingling, but a sensation that maybe, just that potential that something could, and then no more. So yes, probably good thumbnail fodder.
Excellent. I'll grab a quick thumbnail and then charge in with my camera.
Crafts perception, please. Difficulty 4.
I will be right back.
Just perception?
Craft perception. I think your craft was photography, right?
Yeah. Oh boy.
I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of skill rolls for your vids.
I should probably have moved some dots around.
That is net 1. It is a perfectly serviceable looking thumbnail, though your photo doesn't quite do justice to the actual picture. You think part of that might be the fact that Todd is blurring the ever-loving shit out of your exact perfect shot in motion as he not quite sprints into the building, but proceeds at an extremely fast jog.
It's cool. I have Photoshop back at the room. I'll edit him out.
Yeah, you can salvage this, but also you need to get in there before he spooks the ghosts. And so you're after him.
Be careful.
You hear the crunch of broken glass as Todd steps on some, heading into the building, heedless.
Dear.
I will take a notebook out of the basket storage in my scooter and just start writing in my own shorthand some details about the house itself and impressions that I'm getting and any theories that are coming to mind.
Let's have a look at your character, shall we, Eugene?
Whether this may or may not be a cover-up, whether it was just an accident. Remind myself that when we get back to the cat sanctuary to hit on my contacts online and see if they can dig up anything about the place or about the people that were living there.
Could this perhaps be connected somehow to the well-known internet conspiracy theory of the Lunar Wars?
You never know.
Katya. I will take... I think that's an Enigmas roll, right? Yeah. Let's do Perception Enigmas, please, Eugene. Diff 6.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Do you have a specialty in the thing you rolled as well?
I didn't.
It's a bit of a shame that you don't. That would have been an extra 3 successes. As is, though, it's still 6 successes. Sorry, Katya?
Nothing.
Okay. Still 6 successes. Do feel free to correct me on rules. As with most systems, I typically haven't actually read the rulebook, but I've skimmed it, and then we'll just go off of the general impression.
No, what I said was not that you need them.
Fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can always be better.
9 successes is indeed better than 6 successes, but at that point you're just comparing Ferraris.
And?
Thank you for that valuable contribution there, Sophie.
You're welcome.
Brum, indeed. Brum. As you study the exterior of the house, Eugene, looking for anything, any signs of conspiracy, anything that registers to your well-trained, well-honed investigative senses, your eyes come to rest on one of the upper windows, or the upper lacking windows, in a portion that's less fire damaged than the rest. And you fancy you see for a brief moment another pair of eyes looking down at you, and then they're gone.
Do they disappear, or does it look like they belong to someone and they've moved deeper into the room?
They look like they were looking right at you, and then seem to almost blink, and with that blink, simply cease.
I see. I will note it down and not say anything to anyone yet. Although, when Nikki gets back, I will ask Sky if she is aware of any new spirits in the area.
It's fair.
I have literally just gotten back, so...
Well, exquisite timing.
Fair. So you are not explicitly for the record, Nikki, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to think that you aren't. If that makes sense.
That I'm not, sensing any ghosts?
Yeah, because your medium stuff, other than your ancestor talking to you, it generally only manifests under stress, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not currently genuinely sensing any ghosts, but that's not to say that you don't think you're sensing any ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh man, it would really suck to hear voices due to a mental health condition, but also be a genuine medium sometimes.
You can't tell which voices are the ghosts. And which,
yeah. Oh my god.
Which honestly works, because with my level of medium, sometimes I can't tell between the living and the dead. Like, I could be in a room full of people, and some of them might be ghosts, and I wouldn't be able to tell until they did something supernatural.
It's true.
So, having something like, I don't know, mild schizophrenia, or something like that, where I'm hearing voices...
I think it makes the amount of sense. If you think you can portray it sensitively, then I would go with it.
I can certainly try.
I believe in you, Nikki. You can do this.
Sensitive portrayals of mental illness in World of Darkness.
Malkavian walks past in the background, talking to a stop sign whilst deep-throating a fish.
That's our island tradition, actually.
That's kind of weird.
Yes, isn't it?
Some people get way too into
You live in a weird place.
Yes.
Have you considered moving?
It's the second time you've asked her that in the less than 3 hours you've been on the island.
And?
It's a valid question.
I'm just pointing it out. I'm not correcting it.
Anyone mind if I make a roll to see if I detect anything with my as I walk through the house?
You were first into the house, so let's see, Ollie. I'll take a wits plus science, diff 6.
Yes, I'm mind, Ollie.
Well, as ever, screw Nikki's opinions. Give me that roll, Ollie.
9d10.
That's a lot to still fail on somehow. Oh no, you didn't fail.
Didn't fail it, no.
But it should have been better than it was.
Right. Wits is 3 and... 7, 7d10.
So we knock... we knocked the last 2 off, Ollie.
Ooh.
That is a bosh.
I've been rolling so badly in all the games I've been playing for like the last...
Do you know what it is? This isn't your fault. Okay, yesterday, young Nicholas got like 3 1s. So it's not your fault. Young Nicholas used up all the luck. It's him.
I mean, I just got 3 10s.
That's also true. It's also John's fault. John and young Nicholas used up all the luck. Whatever had regenerated since yesterday, John took it.
I mean, hold on. To be fair, I have deliberately sacrificed things and or people to the gods of luck today so that I could roll well. Is that not something you will do?
No, not generally. I feel like luck is one of those gods where you don't want to get its attention. It's like an elder god. You want it to ignore you. That's when things are best.
I do it regardless of whether I'm sacrificing someone or not.
Wait, is this a cult?
Oh,
yeah.
Nikki, you said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
Oh.
Yes, welcome to the cult of luck, Gregg.
Greg's.
Oh, are you all Gregg's fans?
Fucking they
You
wanted
have no
for
idea.
the bloody Bosnia campaign. They wanted to have, like, Sophie especially wanted to have this idea of a cult, and the cult would be based on Gregg's from the fucking baking chain from the UK.
Okay, dude. Based on how much you talked about Gregg's,
I love Gregg's. That's true.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were in a Gregg's themed cult. So
But it's a very good.
Is
very
that
good
true,
shot.
Ewan?
But Sophie took it to a whole new level, and I was telling them, like, no, you can't have this. That's just so dumb. That's so immersion breaking. Only to find out that the patron saint of Bosnia, which is where the fucking game was set, is indeed a one Saint Gregorius.
And we discovered that it was a fucking field day.
It was such a good day.
Not to mention, for one of our short sessions when I think Ollie wasn't there, we were playing as vampire hunter clergyman called Gregg, Gregor, and Gregory.
We're carrying this Gregg theme, and we're carrying this Gregg theme hard.
Damn right.
Sweet.
I'm just glad no one tried to take the Death Cult merit, because
Are we
I know where that would
actually
have gone.
part of the extended Gregg universe, which is what I'm now calling all of our campaigns?
Sure,
Yes.
I don't think we've got a Modern Knights setting going at the moment, so why not?
This gives me plans for our next 40k game as well.
I ever run Modern Knights? Well,
And
40k, you've got, like, Creed's been naming all of his characters Jefferson or some variation thereof for like 5 years at this point, to the extent that there are multiple competing larger Jefferson clans woven into varying bits of the backstory. So
That's amazing.
it's really frustrating. Right, so for the last... sorry.
quick question.
Yes.
So you do run, you botch if you have more ones than successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I know it's
Makes
not
it more
more, but it's
funny.
more fun, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, just to be clear.
Yeah. Botch if you have more ones than successes, and tens count for 2 if you have a specialty. Well, at one point, because I really hadn't read the rules at all, we used to do tens explode. That didn't last that long.
That
was
was
fine.
that was actually how tens worked in Vampire Revised, but they cut it after that.
Because Revised was a dark and terrible time that we do best not to talk about.
Yeah.
How did my role end up botching?
How did your roll end up botching?
You got more ones
You've
than
got
successes.
your god damn it, John. You've got your absolute favourite EMT meter here. EMF meter, rather. This is your lucky piece of ghost hunting gear. You took this on your very first attempt to go hunting for ghosts, and though you didn't catch anything that time, it really got you started on something.
No, don't say it. Say it ain't so.
As you enter the building, you trip on the stoop and land on your EMT with a heavy crunch, shattering it.
I'm really sad.
Now, you have enough money and are on enough of a touristy island that you're pretty sure you can obtain another EMT meter. Why do I keep calling it EMT? An EMF meter. But as you roll over, you find the meter shattered beneath you. Your solace and sorrow is almost immediately interrupted by Agatha bounding into the building after you. Camera in hand, smile on her lips.
Ollie, check Discord.
Agatha, how do you react to this? To Todd's tragedy? His lip is wavering, his eyes watering.
Greg, no.
It's okay, you can borrow mine. It's fine.
Did you call it Greg?
On someone's suggestion, potentially, yes, maybe. It was a solid suggestion, and I like it, so I'm sticking with it.
All right, let's just punish the perpetrators real quick.
So, I have a fairly high ghost rating, a very high craft rating, in electronics. Does it look repairable to me?
It does not look repairable to you, sadly. Like, you can tell at a glance, a number of the circuit boards are just outright shattered.
Okay, I'll
Snapped.
I'll gather up the pieces and I'll put it in my pocket, I suppose. And I'll take the spare EMF reader. Very sadly, but I will take it.
Probably not going to get much during the day, anyways. Ghosts, despite what some of our companions might say, tend to be a bit on the nocturnal side, in my experience.
That middle bit shouted back out the door to the three still on the street. You take your readings at a slower pace this time.
When I start at the bottom, I'll start from the top.
Yeah.
But
Compare
do be
notes
careful.
after. Always am.
Agatha casually just confirming that Todd is in fact a bottom.
And I'm going to power through this lower level as well, you know. You know what? Maybe I'll switch it up later.
I see what you're doing there.
You see what I'm doing there? I'm just
I do.
incredibly clever.
Wait,
I
how
mean-
does that not count as puns?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've been peppering Wraith references into my speech throughout, so it would be mean of me to do it for Ollie here. I'm still mad at him, but
I don't know if anyone ever told you, but I'm the reason Wanker's Corner exists.
Ooh, excellent. I don't think I've ever ended up in there.
you've got into Wanker's Corner.
I have?
You have. I forget why, but I remember you being equal parts offended and happy that you'd managed to get in there. It was during Wraith.
Alright.
Play with us long enough and you'll get there sooner or later.
I'm
Don't,
sure.
don't Katya. It's not a noble goal. No one should be in Wanker's Corner.
And yet, home away from home.
Worrying. So, that actually, as we come to 20 past, feels like a reasonably good spot to end it. As the sweep begins on Jacob's Place, as the other three stand outside watching the spooky house, creaking and almost seeming to sway in the wind. Is that fire damage? Or is it something else?
Dun dun dun.
Thank you,
I
Nick.
bet they couldn't get a plumber either.
And what? No, it's fire damage. Reminders for next session. Anyone got anything they want noted down?
The EMS meter?
EMF.
EMF?
Yeah.
It's called Gregg.
Fair. Rage. Anything else?
It's broken.
Also noted.
I'm talking about my EMF reader for 1 second. It's still fresh.
Is that the first roll you made as well, Ollie?
No, he has rolled.
Second, yeah. Sorry, any other reminders for next session?
Max.
That when we are done at this house, I intend to contact one of my internet contacts for details about the family.
Fair. Anything else?
Not that I can think at the moment.
Aha, no significant facts for yourself either there, John. Okay.
What?
No, it's fine. In that case, feedback.
I haven't forgotten that I saw someone. I will remember that.
Okay. Feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time.
I would like to see Ollie botch more.
Whoa.
I like Katya being here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like being here. That's it's nice to meet all of you.
Yay!
And I
Are you
like
sure?
the note
You
of
don't have to
surprise.
be polite.
And I like the note of surprise in Katya saying that I like being here.
To be fair, she's heard the stories you've GM'd, and it's a two-way street, mate.
She's talked to many of you.
Stories about you guys is the reason Ewan can't post in the RPG channel at work without people reacting with a sandwich.
No, that's the Tuesday group. I don't tend to post stories from this group at work too much because the sandwich group, they usually have their horrors, but the horrors are usually very much how could you do this to a person way, whereas this group is often much more weirdly horny. and as a result, like, it's not really suitable for a channel with like 150 colleagues, only some of whom I know.
Mate, I'm
Like,
lost in the
don't get me
sand.
wrong, the Zinchian robot getting humped and dumped is hilarious, but it's not really good share material, That's not professional.
It was also the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, like I'm thinking the underground fight in the cave, the
It's honestly still one of my proudest moments is our psycho cage fighting, where I got to kill my own character with my other character.
Yeah, that was one transition in, yeah.
Thank you for letting me do that, by the way. That's still one of my favourite things.
No worries, wasn't that your suggestion?
I mean, it was, but you let me do it.
That'd be a bad GM not to. But no worries. Yes, any other feedback?
It felt like we
I-
went pretty far for our first session. Like, we managed to get to a building and get inside it, at least partially. We don't normally get that far.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering how long our first sessions normally take, that's pretty good going.
Yeah, I was trying to find the right balance between narrative stuff, not giving you any travel time, because I feel like travel time's important for bonding, and I skipped over it too much in the last attempted campaign. And like actual shit to do. So that's good to hear. What were you going to say, Nikki?
I don't remember.
Oh no, fair. And like feedback on mine as well. I really appreciated everyone rolling out the accents. That was great fun to see. And the like, for whatever reason, these awkward internet people meeting up with each other for the first time. Everyone just seemed slightly born to play that role. I don't know why that was.
Imagine.
But yeah, no.
I take it you all know each other through the internet, or
They all work together, and I've been engaged to Sophie since before they worked together, so I met them that way.
Oh, okay.
Engaged with Soph and John, like equidistantly and at separate times before either of those two knew each other as well.
Really?
So completely off target for me then.
It was a love romance.
Fun fact for you. Okay, one, the term is polycule. Thank you very much. And two, the Sophie and John got engaged on that giant nipple building thing.
We got engaged on top of the globe in Stockholm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I always think of it as a nipple. It doesn't look like a nipple up close. It looks like a nipple from far away.
That was still very fitting that you did get engaged on top of a giant nipple.
Like I got out of the taxi.
Have
from
you
the
even
airport.
fucking seen it, Ollie?
It looks like a nipple.
I've always kind of thought it looks like the top half of a golf ball. But
I mean, also that.
Yeah.
I maybe I was young and innocent when I saw it for the first time.
I first saw it my first not my first day in Sweden, but like my first day getting out. I just picked my cat up from the airport. I was sweaty. I was hot. I had my stuff with me. I was going to pick up the keys from my flat. The taxi guy drops me off at like the corner of Hobosgarten and I think Gottgarten. And I look down the street and see, like, framed against the horizon, the sides chopped off, this giant erect nipple building going, okay, well, I'll investigate that later. Where are the keys? I need to get inside. This place is strange.
Oh yeah, you'll see it down Götgatan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Sweet.
And then
Here's a
two distant figures on top of the nipple, renewing their vows to each other.
So, if that's the feedback done, I
I
also
really
liked having
enjoyed the session. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. I'll try and have it be, now that we've had like a little bit of time to introduce and get the... Also, like everyone, player-led role-playing was great this week as well. I put you in some really vague situations and conversation was really quite free-flowing, which was lovely to see. I'll try and give you
I feel like
more...
we're getting more used to it, honestly.
Yeah. I'll try and give you more
Well, I think
action-y stuff to do next time as well. Sorry, Ollie?
I hope you didn't mind me bringing the crate on board a day early as a narrative doodad for...
No, I think that's entirely fair. Like, if you doing stuff like that, it's fun, it's interactive, it helps build your character, and if I have a problem with it, I'll say, and usually I will try to say, like, oh, here's how we could correct the thing to make it work, rather than like, oh, no, you absolutely can't do that. And if you can't do it, I'll try and explain why you can't, and ideally offer an alternative. And really the person who was disadvantaged there was Sophie, who had to haul up the stairs.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in full fairness, it wasn't really a risk for her as much as it was for you.
That's true, actually. I was really hoping she'd botch it and you'd get in and find that she just, like, annihilated half of your expensive equipment that you'd, like, rented, stolen from the university.
Didn't know it was in the
These
box
lenses
anyway.
cost £2,500.
Just open it, shattered glass tumbles out.
But you didn't mark it as fragile, did you?
Oh, lines from an alternate take. Cool.
Oh, that's one. Ewan, did you want me to avoid any particular specific conspiracy theory things?
Nothing too major. I would just say if we could stray a little bit away from incredibly douchey conspiracy. Like, I like fun conspiracy, but I don't think I've got the...
Nothing like Bush engineered 9/11 or Sandy Hook was an inside job.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I would stay the shit away from that, honestly.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to, like...
Stick to things like the government's always watching type thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we did a load of conspiracy
Zuckerberg's a
stuff.
vampire.
Yeah, Zuckerberg's a vampire, Zuckerberg's a lizard person, that type of thing's fun. We did a load of conspiracy stuff for Hunter's Katya's game last year? Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
God, it feels so
I
much
think
longer ago. And there was... We a lot of that, like, we invented our own conspiracies, and I would say that might be fun for you, like a fun exercise.
Yeah, okay.
Because then you don't have so much the baggage of, like, actual horrible dickheads who believe in this stuff. That was what Katya was giggling at earlier, was like everything tying into the Lunar Wars was a major thing I had, where the Lunar Wars was this idea that the Russian Civil War never stopped, and every time a Russian government toppled, it was in fact pushed into space. And then you had the White Russians fighting different varieties of Reds up there versus the modern day less, I was going to say democratic, but that's stretching the truth a little bit.
Okay, that sounds incredible. Do you have anything with that written down?
Yeah, if you look in the Discord, obligatory repost to the Tasteful Conspiracy Theories chart, you'll see like this. So this
Yes,
is my
I have a
conspiracy
chart.
chart. And you can see how everything connected to everything else. I tried to construct I mostly doodled this in sessions, and I tried to construct it so it had like hints of actual stuff that is canon in World of Darkness, but only ever hints, and a lot of it like, this is correct, but correct for the wrong reasons, or this is a genuine correlation, but you're so wrong about everything around it.
Yeah. I did feel a little bit bad for some of the stuff that ended up in there, given that they're in the setting, sadly. But that was probably more on me than you.
I think my like fucking, other than the Lunar War, my favorite thing on that chart was getting pissed off about crypto-Hellenics infiltrating the government.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good, especially since it came back to.
Because you can play
Right,
5
yes.
Degrees of Kevin Bacon with it, right? So, like,
Yeah.
you can make any subject connect to any other thing, and then argue why the two make sense together.
Yeah.
You definitely don't have to use that. Like, by all means, make your own, or just like pick a single conspiracy, or do what you would like. But also, thank you definitely for asking.
That's cool. I mean, like, I don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah, no, it's appreciated. I always think it's important to like find comfort levels in this type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stick to the Hollow Earth theory is always fun, or Hollow Moon theory is always fun.
Hollow Earth you will find
obviously.
located in the top left portion, I believe.
Also, a fine vacation location in the World of Darkness, if you ever want to ride a dinosaur and punch a Nazi.
Yes, always.
Dude, no,
Who doesn't want to do both of those things?
This is a path that leads down Katya getting people to play mage. Do not play mage. It is a mindfuck.
Mine had some corrective surgery in her nose the other day, and I asked her why she had it, and she said she got it from punching a Nazi in the face in Germany who punched her back, not before she kicked the shit out of him. And I thought, if there's any other reason to get, like a broken nose, it's because you punch a Nazi. Like, wait, that came out wrong. But you know what I mean. There's a pretty badass reason why she got it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd say that's like that came out wrong. Like, I knew exactly what you meant, and yeah, fair enough. Comparatively
that
few
point,
times.
There's ever a good reason to get in a fight, it's with a Nazi.
Sorry, Katya?
No, I'd say at that point it's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Questions? Anything anyone was narratively unclear of in that session? Is everyone following the plot?
Well, I really want to know what my descriptive segment was. Other than I'm following just fine.
It was mostly just about, like, how your tools were doing and how they'd... you know what? I don't need to describe this to you, Ollie. We have a recording. I will ping you when I have edited it. And do you want me to timestamp the recording?
That would be amazing.
Okay, I will timestamp it for you, and
Yeah.
and I will do the fucking the thing I do for Carl, where I prang you in Discord with the recording.
That single tear I had just got sucked right back up into the duct.
Just sort of slurped back up into the tear duct.
Don't ask me how. I don't know physics.
Really, like, backing up the water pressure. I think you'll find that that's technically... I was going to say, like, chemistry or biology, ironically, but I guess it arguably is both of those things. So my actually doesn't work. Any other narrative questions?
Not really.
No, I think stuff
Nice.
was pretty clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything so far has been clear.
Good to hear. I'm expecting some pulse-pounding library investigation action next week, as well as... God fucking damn it, Ollie. As well as probably a lot of, like, tense investigation of the house and some fire-damaged collapses, maybe, depending on exactly how enthusiastic our two most enthusiastic members get.
Slightly less enthusiastic now.
Now that Greg's dead.
I've only got Alan. It's my only friend left in the world.
To be fair, Gregg is probably better at detecting ghosts at this point. Like, ghost hunters use the worst EMF meters you can find on the market. Like, that's the selling point of them, which is why you can pick one up for like 100 crowns. What's that, 10 quid?
Yeah, it's a tenner. Oh, also, like, sorry, scooching back to Fever for a second. I heard the quid comment inserted earlier. Good use of the obscure outside of the country English slang, Katya.
Yeah, I'm learning from knowing you.
All along you'll be saying core blimey and mate a lot.
I don't say
Oh
cool,
yeah,
blimey.
you're gonna learn a lot more.
You know, I'm a polite person. I don't say mate to someone unless I'm either angry or be having a heart-to-heart.
Or you're drunk.
Yeah,
It's funny because those are the appropriate times to use mate as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll just keep teaching Sophie Swedish slurs as well.
I'm sure she will
please.
love that.
Please don't. She'll just bark them out at random, and then I'll have to deal with them forever. Okay, which brings us on to XP. Oh yeah, Ollie started doing this PX thing where he reverses the order. Okay. Plot progression. Does anyone feel like you made any significant plot progression this session? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Well, we started the plot. We all met up, and we have actually gone to the first ghost location.
Yeah,
Having also stopped up at the coffee shop as well.
We also had a character death in Gregg.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also some and or all of us might be axe murderers.
I have damn well put up with fucking months of the bloody Elder Scrolls group trying to get plot advancement XP for NPCs. I'll be damned if I'm going to give plot advancement XP for fucking pieces of equipment. But no, fair. Cool. Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their character this session? And if so, how?
I feel like we all just developed into our characters.
Yeah, a little bit.
A bunch of you did amazing accents.
I think Ollie's character is going to have to go through, or is starting to go through, the stages of grief now that Gregg is gone.
I'm not going to lie, but I thought you were going to say puberty there. I don't know.
And or.
A non-exclusive or.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Second puberty.
The puberty.
Like second breakfast, but with more teenage angst.
Yes, we've had first puberty, but what about second puberty?
Second puberty?
For what it's worth, that is a thing amongst trans people, but
It's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't a fan of the first time. Would suck to go through it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I get more growth spurts? I wouldn't mind being taller.
Generally, no.
Do I get the hair on my head growing back?
You've got such a shiny head, John.
Yeah, I know, and I miss my hair.
It's fair.
It was so pretty.
I mean, you could do the Elon Musk thing, possibly.
Tell you what, John, next time I come down to see you, I'm going to bring my prettiest wig and some wig tape. And we'll make
That would
you feel
make me
fabulous.
very happy. I am looking forward to that. You coming down tomorrow?
Beautiful.
I'll be there at the weekend.
And finally, excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone else roleplayed particularly well? And if so,
I think we all did a really good job. I've got a really good feel for like how everybody's characters works and like their quirks and stuff because they were played just really well.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
is
I particularly enjoyed Sophie's crazy cat lady.
That was great.
I mean, arguably,
Partially
Posh
because I
Crazy.
can already see it, honestly.
Yeah, Posh Crazy Cat Lady is in many ways the role Sophie was born to play.
I mean, except in real life context, we're replacing cats with snakes, and we're fine.
True.
Crazy snake lady is so much more threatening.
You can do both.
Yeah, you just have this house
Happen at the fucking party.
filled
You just
with
have-
snakes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You just
They're
have a
like,
snake and
oh,
cats.
hey, Sophie, it's so good to see you. Oh, this is the girl that's got loads of snakes. Yeah, hi.
We introduced Katya as the eugenicist specialist earlier, and you're complaining about this is the girl with loads of snakes.
I wasn't complaining. I'm just saying.
Snakes are great.
Snakes
They are.
Thank
Like,
you.
I think there's like 5 different lineages of lizards that have all figured out having legs is overrated.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
I think it's
Having words
like,
overrated.
I think it's 4 or 5 times that they just different lineages of lizards that have just gone like, fuck it, let's not do legs. They're not all snakes because
No, they are legless lizards,
it's a
specifically.
clade that's
Fun fact, the basilisk in Harry Potter is actually a legless lizard, not a snake.
Any other Excellence of Roleplay awards? Anything? Any specific mentions?
Nikki's medium just being fucking so done with that shit,
yeah.
Yeah.
honestly. If she develops alcoholism or a drug problem later on, I'm just going to start calling her Klaus.
You know, there is one.
That's who I aspire to be, just slightly less fabulous.
I mean, why wouldn't you go for the fabulousness?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, coming from Katya, 5 dots of appearance, 5 dots of fame.
I didn't pick that this time.
No, but you were thinking about it, weren't you?
I mean,
Yeah, there it
Always.
is. Every time.
yeah.
Any other Excellence of Roleplay awards?
Ollie was doing Excitable Nerd incredibly well.
Oh, you know, just do it. Play it,
Again,
right?
to be fair, I feel like that's one of those, well, I think Ollie was kind of born to play that.
Yes, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it well.
That's also true.
Thank you.
And I very much enjoyed Katya's Instagram pro.
Yeah, I was
enjoyed-
umming and ahhing early on over like, oh, should I make Katya roll for Instagram things? And then just started going with it and thinking, you know what, fine, fuck it, yeah, this is fun. We'll just have people reacting to Katya's Insta story as we go be a living, breathing part of her character. Sorry, what were you going to say, Ollie?
I really enjoyed John's conspiracy nut sort of angle because from about the first sentence, it just came across really well.
I do have a big weakness for conspiracy nuts generally.
You do?
Yeah, I know, shocking, right? Look, the Lunar War is a thing.
I mean, it is.
That's the best part. It's just
Hang
not
on.
the Earth
Do you have like a manifesto or something for it so that I can read that and just drop it in here and there?
I think my character was far too off the grid. I'm afraid I lived out of a minivan with an immense amount of illegal guns. As
I'm gonna say there was a manifesto, but it's currently held by a 14-year-old raven. 16, I think.
It sounds like it has weird parallels to the Unabomber.
Well, I was a federal agent, I'll have you know.
Hmm.
Who
Do you
was?
have recordings for those sessions?
We do not, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to have to poke you throughout the week for details.
That's fair.
So
You
I
probably
can
poke Katya as well.
put shit together. Yeah. I want to put some shit together. This is going to be amazing.
That's a lot of fun. I really liked constructing my own conspiracy chart, because then I could draw my own weird parallels and people will go, what the fuck are you talking about? Which is an invitation to then talk about your dumb conspiracy.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, there is also an actual lunar war in the World of Darkness. It's just not the Earth moon, it's the moons of Saturnus. Moons of Jupiter.
Cool.
Goddamn mage fucking fangirls.
Yeah.
Also, your comment about mage being a mindfuck. And?
No.
Isn't that what mines are for?
I mean, everything I've read about the mage system makes me want to play as those techno sorcerers who kind of... I can't quite remember what they do, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, they can be good people.
You play mage with Sophie, you're going to get
so
a lot
can
of
Chaos
dicks
Cultists, but they're
whacking
typically not.
to a lot of faces.
See, the key is letting her play a marauder.
Doesn't sound... this is the other thing. It's sort of there's so much... fucking... To play Wraith, you need to learn to think with Mantis eye vision, and that is easier than Mage.
Yeah, it's Mage is a mindfuck to run. It's... but it's mostly heavy for the GM, mostly.
Okay, so I make that out to be 7 experience points for session number 1. That is 2 points of plot progression, doing the first meetup and starting to investigate your first haunted house. 1 point of character development, that's everyone starting to grow into their characters. Usually needed to be a bit more specific, but I think it's fair this time, especially for an intro session. 3 points excellence of roleplay. That's Sophie's crazy cat lady, Nikki's angsty/angry medium, Ollie's excitable nerd, Katya's instant nut, and John's conspira nut. +1 standard. Which brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights.
I thought it was me asking how much XP was that again?
7. And that is not everyone's favourite part of the session, Ollie. It is the part of the session I am deeply resigned to. Because no matter how much methamphetamine we pump into your system, your focus will never ever be enough for you to listen to the fucking XP total on time. I'm sorry. I appear to have become a golden retriever there. So highlights. Let's do newbie first. Katya, do you have any highlights for that session?
Oh boy, I got to be here. Thank you all for having me. It was absolutely fantastic.
Our pleasure.
Happy to.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get back to me? I'm a bit oh my god, everything. It was great.
That's fair. You're always entitled to say hey, can you come back to me, or that you don't have any highlights, whatever. It's not at all mandatory. Let's spin on then. Ollie's done highlights once this week already. So Nikki, do you have any highlights for that session?
Yeah, I like the random cats following Sophie around, fucking everywhere. That made me laugh. There's one cat that just kind of strolls past casually. There's another cat that just strolls past casually.
Yeah, I was trying
There's a third one somewhere over there.
I was initially going to question, how are you keeping 6 cats under wraps on this pier? And then just decided it wasn't worth it and just let Sophie have this and we'd run with it. So this is, I guess, just going to be a presence forever now. But it's fine because hopefully there'll be no stealth sections, I guess.
Cats are stealthy.
Yeah, cats are stealthy individually sometimes. 6 or 7 cats that have no urgent understanding of the need for stealth are not stealthy.
Well, then
Groups
it'll
of
be
cats
funny.
are stupid.
Single cats.
Groups of anything is stupid, honestly.
It's true. Any other highlights, Nikki?
Yeah, Ollie breaking his beloved Gregg.
Oh.
Any other highlights?
No, I think I'm good.
Fair.
For a second, I thought that was your leg, Nikki, and it really confused me. I just kind of thought you just turned half wolf or something, which wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. It would be the third most surprising thing you've ever done, I suppose.
If any of us are going to be a werewolf, it's going to be Nikki.
Absolutely.
Well, she is from Yorkshire, then Moors. It's werewolf country, really.
if there's one thing Moors are good for, it's running across whilst they're covered in fog with two glowing eyes and
That's
scaring
very
the shit
true.
out of locals.
Exactly.
like
Where
Moors
do you think the Hound of the Baskervilles came from? I mean, honestly.
Baskerville, right? Was always
Nope.
my assumption.
Well, you're wrong.
Baskerville!
Oh, got him, fam.
Correct.
Okay, so
Fucking hell.
Sophie, do you have any highlights for that session?
Yeah, I do. I very much enjoyed John's intro segment.
You're very quiet. I know exactly what you're going to do.
Quiet.
There you go.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed John's intro section, where he really leaned into his nerdy voice accent. It accidentally became Australian at one point.
I don't fucking know what happened to that,
it's great.
honestly.
You were Australian for the first 30 seconds of that character, and it was beautiful.
It wasn't supposed to be, honestly. It just came out really, really wrong.
It was wonderful. I enjoyed it.
But who knows? I might work on it over the week and lean into it. We'll see.
Fair. Any other highlights, Sophie?
Nope.
Cool. John, do you have any highlights for that session?
I can't remember the name. The drooling cat.
Mrs. Beauregard?
Yeah, that one.
Oh no, that should have been reminders. This is going to come back.
What was it? Lady Bernadette? Lady something?
Lady Beauregard?
I feel
I
like
thought-
it was more...
I know it was a bee, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll get it on the recording.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I'll add it to the reminders retroactively.
Um,
Was Droolly Cat called?
we get to the haunted house, and the two with the cameras immediately just go running inside while the rest of us just stood there like, okay.
Fair.
That was very entertaining to me.
They were very disparate reactions, three of you outside, appreciating the awe and majesty of potential supernatural activity, and the other two, science views, interaction.
Yeah.
Any others?
And everyone being shocked at the weather.
It was suspiciously windy.
It wasn't.
Oh, and potentially another one after Katya's done.
Fair. Well, we've not done Ollie yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just Ollie.
Mr. Oliver Walliver Ding Dolliver, do you have any highlights for that session?
I feel like most of it had, Sophie being lumped with my crate. And not destroying it, surprisingly.
Fair. Anything else?
I think everything I kind of wanted to say has actually already been covered.
It's fair. In that case.
Can I suggest you one? Asking for 50 years worth of weather reports.
Eventually toned down to half a year's badly. I get the impression that your mate Alan is probably like one of those, those childhood friends where like you keep up because you have that childhood loyalty, but you've really got nothing in common at this stage, and it's more like he doesn't know how to break off the friendship with you, and it's easier to just half-heartedly go along with your requests sometimes.
Yeah.
This is why you should have put the eggplant in there before he left. Before he leaves you. Just say.
Gotta hook him on the D, Ollie.
I've known him a long time. He is a family friend. He is...
Yeah, but it's still not incest.
That took a sudden and extreme turn.
I mean, incest came up so much that as soon as he said family, I had to make sure.
I see.
I also blame you for that.
Hey, I would deal with incest in a professional context. Thank you very much.
I mean, you are from the West Country, though.
Katya, any highlights for that session?
Again, getting to be here was absolutely fantastic, and thank you again. I thought the cat sanctuary in general, the world building of the cat sanctuary was fantastic. Roll stealth for the mobility scooter was great.
Fun. Fun fact on the cat sanctuary as well. Sophie worked backwards from taking the caretaker background. which I personally think is kind of hilarious. Anything else?
Doggo Cam has been fantastic.
Fair.
Doggo Cam. Yes.
And no, I very much enjoyed getting to charge into a haunted house. It's going to be great. Sure, nothing bad will happen.
Nothing's going to go wrong.
What could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
Remember, if you charge him blind everywhere, you can't see the scary things.
Yeah, and just remember to press F to pay respects at Gregg's funeral.
Oh, topical 2021 memes.
Yeah!
Can I talk to Gregg's ghost? I mean, I know inanimate objects don't.
No, I draw the line. We'd let Sophie have a cat ghost only after strenuous pleading and a long day at work.
You let her have a chair made out of her old best friend.
I did not want the chair. I wanted my friend.
It's not my fault Dio got soul
Okay.
forged.
Counter question then. What if Gregg's a relic?
Gregg
Oh.
might arguably be a relic, actually. In fact, almost certainly Gregg would be a relic. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Gregg would leave a ghost, but you wouldn't know Gregg had left a ghost. You'd need to cross over to the other side.
I'm crossing over to the other side for Gregg once I've realised that relics are a thing that exists.
I mean, at the pace that they've gone into that house, they might already be there.
Imagine being the ghost, finding a relic EMF counter, going, the fuck am I supposed to do with this? What is this good for, this side of the shroud?
It's in humans you can already see.
Like, just pointing it at your mate nearby. Hey, look, I detected a ghost.
It's probably
Most
not
times
worse
it's
at
a-
detecting ghosts on that side.
Say again?
It's probably every bit as good at detecting ghosts on that side as it is on this one.
Yeah, I think it's about exactly the same, almost.
Yeah.
Cool. So, the only highlight I was going to have was the Doggo Cam also. Sleepy Sunny is a good time. So that's been taken. Okay. In that case, I think
You know, I need to play more video games with me and Nikki then, because Sunnycam is a very frequent.
Every time you say Sonny, his eyes literally turn towards the webcam.
Yeah.
That's because he's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. Well, thank you all
And
for
it's
a
because I'm looking at him.
very
Hey, Simon.
entertaining session number 1. Does anyone have any final words for the recording?
Oddswallop.